Martin puts her there with him. Nick Cunningham of the USA, what a great run from this man from Monterey, California in the first heat to put himself in medal contention with Justin Olson, Johnny Quinn and Dallas Robinson on the USA 2 sled.
This is another night train. This sled won with Holcomb last year at a bronze medal in this event. Cunningham started 16th, so he had that late start advantage. Good start though, 5:07 start in the first run. 5:07 again, speed in the left, 51.7 they should have, 51.7 they have, so now he's got to point it straight. And he's only got 14 trips or so in this sled. He only took it over at the Lake Placid World Cup and crashed it in Winterberg. And there's a big, it's over now.
Well, no, he's got a chance still.
That was a quarter. That was a quarter of 20 hundredths right there.
And it will continue to haunt him until he gets some speed out of Horseshoe.
Yeah, that mistake right there. If he has 110.5, he'll be lucky. 110.2 speed. Yeah, that's all related to that mistake between Wall and Snake.
Best 2 results of the season in 4-man so far for Cunningham. 12 places, but he's gone.
We said that was giving everybody problems.
Well, John,
everybody.
He's in a sled with very different steering responses from what he's used to, and when the reflexes are needed, when it has to be instinct, it's leading him astray because it reacts differently from what he's been used to over the last few years with his older sled. And unfortunately, having to drop out the back, Dallas Robinson. So the guys will not be credited with a time, so no points for Nick Cunningham from this weekend in St. Moritz.
A lot of teams have been making that mistake all day in both runs, and it finally caught up to Nick Cunningham.
But when you have to have that instinct, and the sled reacts differently to what you've been used to over the last 2 or 3 years, it's what leads you astray, and that didn't help.
Hope that they're all, we see 3 of them up, but I haven't seen the picture for Dallas Robinson. He
Dallas kicked out down in Martineau.
Let me tell you, Corey Butner crashed there early in the week for the U.S., had a concussion problem, and did not compete in this race. But Nick Cunningham going for a medal.
Anguish rather than pain.
Yeah, but the athletes get beat up more in this natural track. And here's down the right side. He's not too bad here, but he steers in, gets a little lazy here, and now this is the pressure, and he didn't steer. He steered too hard, then the centrifugal force brought him back up, and he couldn't save it. Look at the number 2 guy. He steered too hard in the first part of the take-on, and then went down.
You're talking about such finessing there to get the steer you want, and to you know, every instinct there is telling him exactly what his other sled would have done, and this one doesn't react the same way, and that's the drama there. He's got 2 more race weekends to just learn this sled intimately.
Here comes the night train team down to talk to him.
There's Chris Spring and the guys gone down to see if they're okay.
And here's where Dallas Robinson gets out. Let's hope he's okay.
He flattens himself out to try and
that's where you get the ice burns. I mean, he's flying 50 miles an hour. Here he comes.
D-Rob. Yeah, he looks pretty beat up.
Great track and field sprinter, indoor 60-meter track and field guy, one of the tallest 60-meter sprinters you're ever going to see. Great physical specimen. And you need to be, I mean, on a natural track, you just stay, or excuse me, on a refrigerated track, you just stay in the sled and go. This natural track's a different beast when you crash.
And they're going so fast. They're over 90 miles an hour, 5G in that final corner. It just rips him out of the sled.
85 miles an hour when they crashed.
So you can see that the track workers are now clearing up after that crash. There will be a hold here in St. Moritz. They will pack little bits of snow into the gouges. Let's take a look again at Nick Cunningham. It all drifts away from him in the fastest parts of the track.
Steers really hard here. Look at the nose come down. Centrifugal force brings it back up. And, you know, he's only got 16, 17 trips, but everybody's been struggling in that curve. Everybody. We just saw Max Arndt, the world champion, come down and struggle there. And just a little bit too much pressure on the take-on cost him to steer too much.
And watch Dallas Robinson at the back. He's just taken a blow on the head there. Then they come down this finish corner. 5G's pulling his body out the sled. He just could not hang on any longer. He was desperately clinging on as they slid into Martineau.
This was a sled going for the medals.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of quiet. There's no celebration. Down at the bottom of the track, you have Max Arndt just won a medal.
There's Nick Cunningham beating himself up much more than the track has beaten him up. This is a tough ask for him. He's got to learn the intimacies of this sled in a month as opposed to 2 seasons.
One thing is, when you're thinking about 7th or 8th, he was going for a bronze medal.
Yeah. Yeah, he was going for it, no question. And we've seen 3 or 4 sleds almost do the same thing. They almost go over, and he was unlucky. He was 1 degree further over from vertical than they were, and that's what took him out. Max Arndt leads from Chris Spring and Thomas Florschutz. We have 2 sleds still to go here in St. Moritz.